Hey everybody, Mr. Larson here. I'm going to do a quick little demonstration for you on how to do your Meteorite lab. Okay, this is what your setup should look like when you come into the room. Also try to make sure that your setup looks similar, okay? Make sure that you have your meter stick and your bin, and just make sure that there's no like debris or anything inside your sand, okay? Each person you will have a different object. You'll get the object from your teacher. In this case, I am using a marble. Okay, now for this activity, you're going to want to actually move the bucket to the floor. If there's sand underneath it and just moving it, you can kind of hear that. That's actually scratching the table. We don't want to do that, okay? So we're going to go ahead, we're going to set our bucket on the floor. This is just my camera case or holder that I'm going to use to hold the camera while I do the lab, and then you're going to want your meter stick as well. Now, you're going to be using a Google form to record your data. Pay attention closely to the top where it says things like drop 1. It'll actually tell you which height to drop it from. Drop 1 is from 10 centimeters, drop 2 is from 20 centimeters, drop 3 is from 30 centimeters, so on and so on. I'm going to do a drop from 50 centimeters here for my demonstration. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to just stick the camera here. There we go. Okay, so I guess it's going to be crooked on. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, when I put the stick in the sand, notice how I'm just going to set the meter stick with the 0 side, and I'm actually just going to kind of set it on the sand. Okay, notice how I'm not plunging it into the sand, because now look, we're measuring from about a little over 1 centimeter as being the start point. That's not what we want, okay? Get back forward, stick out the sand again. So I'm just going to set it right on top, okay? Now, I'm going to take the object, okay, and I'm going to put it at around 50 centimeters on the side of the meter stick. Okay, and once I get to 50 centimeters, I'm going to move the stick, okay? Because we don't want the stick to interfere. Okay, when you drop it, you're going to notice that it just made a crater, okay? Okay, now each group will have a ruler, so you're going to end up doing a measurement on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look where there's a lump on each side of the crater. You're going to notice it's kind of raised. I'm going to go to the outside of that lump, okay, and I'm actually just going to make little lines with my ruler. I'm also going to go from this direction. Okay, because these craters might not be entirely circles, so what we're going to do is measure the distance from one side to the other side, then we're going to measure the distance from the other side to the other side, and then we're going to actually average the distances apart. Okay, I'm going to actually remove my object now. Makes it a little bit easier to measure because it's not in the way. So in this direction, to me it looks like about, oops, let's turn this around so it's straight. So, and notice how I'm using the metric side, so it's centimeters. I'm looking at about 4 points, I'd say maybe 4.8 centimeters in that direction. And then in this direction, I am getting about 4.7 centimeters. Okay, so if you can't do the math, go ahead and use a calculator. So I'm going to go 4.8 centimeters plus 4.7 equals, and I'm going to divide that by 2 because we took 2 measurements, okay? So 4.75 centimeters, that's what you would want to enter into your data sheet for the drop. When you're done with this part, go ahead and get the marble out of there, get this, and if you actually shake it back and forth until it's flat, now you're ready for your next drop. Okay, when you're all done, don't forget to clean up your area, Make sure your bucket, your ruler, just go ahead and throw the ruler in here. Throw your the meter stick next to your bucket, and then make sure that the object goes back to your instructor, okay? We will be checking for these at the end of the hour. If we don't have them all, we're going to hold class after, so make sure that you bring this back to your teacher. Okay, if you have any questions, make sure you ask. Okay, have a good day, guys.